Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
This episode is brought to you by Atlassian. Atlassian makes the team collaboration software that powers enterprise businesses around the world, including over 80% of the Fortune 500. With Atlassian's AI-powered software like Jira, Confluence, and Loom, you'll have more time to do the work that matters. In fact, Atlassian customers experience a 25% reduction in project duration per year. Unleash the potential of your team at Atlassian.com. Atlassian.
She was throwing slugs, like she was, instead of saying Kalila, Kalisha, or whatever. So she was throwing slugs, and I kind of laughed it off or whatever. And so the ending was Mello did not appreciate the dynamics and relationship between me and Precious.
These are the plaintiffs, Precious Young and Mello Desire. Mello says the nasty defendant posted false and defamatory things on social media about her mothering skills. Her son was murdered when he was 13 years old. The defendant said it was because she was a bad mother. The defendant doesn't know what the heck she's talking about, and what she did wasn't right. The defendant then called social services in an attempt to get Precious's son taken away, and she must be punished and stopped from causing more harm. They're suing for $4,000 for defamation of character and false allegations. This is the defendant, Kalila Jones. She says she's a pastor, and she mentored Precious for 2 years. When Precious left her 1-year-old son unattended in a stroller, she felt it was her duty to notify the authorities, so that's what she did. All she did on Facebook was defend herself. She only told the truth about the plaintiffs, and she doesn't owe anyone anything because she did nothing wrong. She's accused of spreading vicious lies. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $10,000 for defamation and pain and suffering.
All parties, please use your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Millian in our forum, the People's Court.
You see to come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Precious Young?
Yes.
And Mello Desire?
Yes.
Okay. You are suing Kalila Jones? Yes. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes, you said it perfectly.
For $4,000 for defamation of character and false allegations. You have a counterclaim against them for $10,000 for defamation and pain and suffering. Okay. Go ahead. Let me start with you as a plaintiff, Mello.
Okay. I knew Kalila through my sister, who known her for a little over 2 years. I have a nonprofit organization with youth, and because my sister,
called?
The Kingdom Warriors Foundation.
Okay.
And my sister said that she has a friend that also pastors that teaches youth as well, advocates for youth as well, and I think it would be great for her to be part of our team. And so I invited her to my house. I spoke to her over the phone several times. We actually went to the same church as well for a while. And when we had a meeting September 11th. And
now, had there been any problem between you and her before this?
No, not at all. That's why I invited her to my house.
When she talks about how she had mentored your sister, let me ask you, what does that mean?
Okay, I met her in a Facebook group, and we wound up becoming friends. She told me she was a prophetess, and that.
May I ask what that means?
She would probably be better able to explain.
Can you tell me what that means?
A prophet is a person that speaks for God, that God uses as a messenger.
That's what I thought it meant. That's what I'm trying to. Okay, so go ahead.
Okay, so her being a prophetess and being a woman of God, she mentored me and assisted me in getting back to church. So she invited me to her church a few times. I went to church with her.
Okay.
So.
And you had never had problems with her?
No.
On the contrary, you wanted to introduce her to your sister.
Yes.
That's why I invited her to my house for a meeting, see if
Okay.
work together.
And what happened when you invited her to your house?
It's about 3 hours. We spoke about the mission, what long-term goals were, short-term goals were, and there were some paragraphs that I wanted her to read so she can get the idea of what we are doing. And it's just a simple paragraph of what our mission statement was, and she refused to read it. She got upset.
Wait, did she say why or?
No, she just didn't want to read it and got an attitude and say.
Do you mean read it out loud? What did you mean?
Yeah, because we have maybe 12 pages in our proposal, and I was reading majority of it, and I got tired of reading.
Okay.
And I wanted more engagement.
Participation.
Okay.
So I said,
Was it just the three of you in the room?
Just the
yes.
three.
Okay.
And she just said some smart comment saying, I don't have to prove anything to you, and it just turned left really quickly.
Okay.
And it kind of shocked me because I didn't expect her to come out that way. It was almost 3 hours. We were talking.
And it had been going well until that point.
Yeah, we had dinner and stuff like that. So I thought we were on a good page until that portion at the end of the night when I was asking her to read.
Hold right there. Let me ask you what happened that night.
It was the control thing. It was just I had already told her I was there to see if my ministry and her nonprofit would merge. So
Okay.
it wasn't a definite thing. It was just to come together and see. And as far as the reading is concerned,
That's what I wanted to know.
it was just that I already didn't feel good. I was having problems with my vision, and I told them that. So I don't understand. I don't understand why it was such a problem. I did read what I could read, and we were all sitting together reading. So
I'm just wondering how something so small becomes so big.
Throughout the whole thing, she was throwing slugs. Like instead of saying Kalila, Kalisha, or whatever. So she was throwing slugs, and I kind of laughed it off or whatever. And so the ending was Mello did not appreciate the dynamics and relationship between me and Precious.
Okay. So that doesn't work out to unite your two missions that evening.
Right.
Then what happened?
Then she stormed out. I didn't expect her to storm out because I didn't know that we had that animosity, but she stormed out, and I was trying to get her, call her back, and I'm trying to find out because I don't want to end on a sour note. And for her to storm out like that was kind of shocking. Then I saw the Facebook post a couple of days later.
Now, the meeting in your house was on what day?
September 11th.
What day was the Facebook post you are referring to?
The first one I saw was September 12th, the next night.
Okay.
And it stated, I'd rather be in the same state with my children.
Hold on one second.
I'm sorry.
I need you, and I know this is painful, but I need you to go into what happened to your 13-year-old boy.
He was shot 3 times. It was a Latin king that took his life, and I tried hard because I knew his father was an ex-gang member, and I try to protect my son as much as possible, try to shield him, even protect his identity so they don't know who he was.
Was your son the actual target?
Yes, he was an actual target, and the ones that took his life were no older than he. It was 2 16-year-olds and a 17-year-old, and 2 of them are actually facing 30 years.
When did this happen?
This happened in 2009. And
Is your organization that we talked about, does it have something to do with this?
Yes, his
What
name
is
was Kingdom Hernandez, and
Okay.
I named the nonprofit the Kingdom Warriors Foundation in his honor. And I don't really speak about it so much because it still pains me. But when I revealed this to Kalila, she used that as bait for her Facebook posts because most of the posts were about my son.
Okay, let's look at the post. This is on September 12th at 1:54 in the morning. I'd rather be in the same state with my children in separate homes alive than to be in different state, leaving my 13-year-old child to be killed by gangs, making my child the face of my nonprofit organization, ! Where was this energy, good parenting, and organization skills before the death of your child? Black people, please stop waiting until something happens to your child before you pay attention or become active in your child's life. Because what happens is you operate and move out of anger. You will lie, cheat, or steal to get your movement on the go, hurting more people along the way. I refuse to blame the world, the government, or family for me failing as a parent, especially if I wasn't around. As a parent, we have due diligence of keeping up with our children. Did you write that?
I did.
Why?
She was harassing me and tormenting me.
Show me how she harassed you and tormented you that would cause you to lose even the tiniest semblance of civility, to attack a woman about her dead 13-year-old child as a member of the human race, let alone as a pastor and a woman of God. That's what I'd like to know.
I dealt with her and I was being very calm.
No, I want to see what she said that you say justifies it.
Here's a statement.
No, that is a person who's going to tell me about it. You don't actually have the proof?
Because she was doing it through her phone. She was doing it through Precious' phone. She was using Precious' phone. She was using
You don't
other
have the
stuff.
text from Precious?
Yeah, here we go.
I want to know what went into your head when you lost all reason and did this and wrote on a Facebook, this is whose Facebook page? Yours? So that means how many people see it, because it's not private, right?
A lot. It was public. And
so how many people see it? Because I don't understand all this stuff.
No, just
how many? How many?
I have about 4,500, 4,500 friends.
So why would you write such a mean, nasty thing as to suggest to a woman who has lost her child that she's a bad parent and it's her fault because they lived in different... Why would you do this? I don't understand.
And I understand that you don't understand. However, she had been downing me, belittling me, even at the meeting. And so my response to her was not about her child, it was about her.
It was horrible. It was so mean. How do you not see how mean this is? A little less church and a little more God and Jesus in all of you. I'm horrified.
You're right.
How do you not look at this and say, this is my worst moment walking my path? It has to be your worst moment. If you don't realize it, if you're standing here and instead of feeling ashamed, you're justifying it, hey, she made me mad. No, then you don't understand how bad this is.
No, I do. I'm not saying that it's bad. What I'm saying is this was in a process.
Well, you should be saying that it's bad.
I'm not saying that it's, it just is what it is. It's nothing.
It's horrible. It's mean and it's horrible.
Okay.
Let's see what happens on September 18th. Abba, keep me home, because Mellow Desire and Precious Young trying to get fast-forwarded to their own judgment day. I think they're tired of living. Them N-word went on a suicide mission. Kingdom, that's your 13-year-old deceased child.
Yes.
Your mother trying to join you, and then cracking up faces are after that. She bringing Precious and Aiden. Who's Aiden?
My child, he's a 1-year-old.
So you can have somebody to play with, and then cracking up faces after that. Are you surprised by who are you?
I'm her husband.
Okay, are you surprised by any of this or no?
Well, it's human reaction. I wouldn't react that way, but I know other folks.
Yeah, I think not, right? But only if they get the soul right. Hashtag unapologetically who God made me to be. Hashtag Blue Fire Prophet.
That's her signature. That's where she goes.
Yeah, I got it. Did you write that?
Yes.
What do you think about that?
I'm not saying it was all right, and I'm not. And I hated that it came to this, in all honesty, and I've said this from the beginning. I'm not in denial about I hated that it got this far.
How does it get this far, though? How?
Because they had showed up to Bishop Faison Church, and I submitted the video.
Okay.
And she demanded that she interrupted service. Mello had Precious.
Okay, everybody hold on. Okay, let's take a look at what happened at church. Not your shining moment, was it?
No, we all had that.
I wasn't talking to you.
You're right.
Let me say something. Please don't tell me nothing. Listen, God is a God of order, and we're going to have order here. That's right. And if we can't be orderly, you're going to have to leave. Right. Because if you can't leave on your own, I believe the police will help. That's not God, Bishop. Listen, goodbye, sister. Goodbye, sister. Goodbye, sister. You are tolerating her behavior. Goodbye, sister. And it's your job to correct it. Goodbye, sister.
You are creating.
You are creating. You got bigger problems to worry about.
You are creating problems.
Understand, it's not coming from me.
The blood of Jesus is against
spirit that you got on you, I does not recognize it as a spirit of God. No, I don't.
She posted it on Facebook. Recognize that that's your sheep. That's from your house. That she went out there and cursed people out in the name of Jesus. She never believed in Jesus. Get it on Facebook. I promise you, I'm my son again. I promise you, they're gonna be holy. Jesus is the reason why I'm breaking it on that. My son, who's dead? You tell me if that's God. Don't you ever talk about my son. Do you understand that? Don't tell me about church. When they got homosexual on the stage, don't tell me about church. You better read. I wish you would. You tell the folks to show my son again. You know.
Welcome back to the People's Court. RV11 here. Can you defame somebody on social media?
Of course, I think anytime you put something, putting someone else down or making lies about their character, no matter how it's said.
Would you have more liberties to say things, say, than the New York Times? Or are you held to the same standard as them?
Yeah, on social media, of course.
So you have more liberties to be snarky?
No, not more liberty, but it
just happens.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. Okay, going inside the courtroom.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Did it occur to you at all that in your journey where you profess to be a woman of God, that you said the things that would make someone this crazy? Because there's no question that her behavior at that church was abominable. But boy, when I watch it, my overwhelming thought is how hurtful that was. What would ever justify this kind of nastiness on Facebook, on social media, in life, in communion and fellowship? What would ever justify hurting another human being like that? Do you guys really think God is watching you?
Yes.
You don't sit back and reflect and think, that's horrible. Why did I do this?
I did.
Did you? Did you ever apologize?
I did. I did. I apologized. I left
When
it
did you
alone.
apologize?
Even before it got this far, I did.
How
I tried
did you
to stop
apologize?
it. I called her and left a message. She didn't answer the phone, so I left a message.
Saying what?
I apologized for what I said, how I conducted myself. I don't want it to go this far. If we can't work together with your nonprofit, I get it. I understand. It's nothing but love. And even
Did
with
she ever call and apologize?
No, because the
Do you have
post
the
came
recorder?
afterwards.
Do you have the recorder?
No, I don't have the.
Okay. When you say this came afterwards, what are you referring to?
The post came after.
No, I'm asking, did she apologize for that post?
No, not the post.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
No,
thought
that's
you said,
what
okay, I'm sorry.
talking about one of the most evil things I've ever done. Wait a second, it doesn't end there. What ends up happening is after this church thing, right? You get a call from DCF.
Yes, ma'am.
You
Okay.
called the Department of Children and Family Services on her because what?
She brought the baby with her. They came to pass this out at the church.
And what was that?
That's
your Facebook post, making your Facebook post public?
No, but then she also
Exactly
posted
what it was.
But wait, on that same paper, she
Right.
also, that's what I'm trying to tell you, she also came for me. In that post, she tagged somebody else and called me a witch and so forth. That's what I'm saying. It's a back
so
and
she
forth
wanted
thing.
everybody to know what you had sent, what you had posted.
but it was a back and forth. It wasn't just me.
So she came to the church to spread that around, and then what? Go ahead.
So she had the baby with her in a stroller.
Right.
Precious, she passed the paper to Precious, then Precious left the baby unattended. And
Wait, Precious left the baby unattended where?
We're in the church. And so
no, where was the baby?
in the stroller, we're at the church, but
Wait, hold on. The baby is unattended in a stroller. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
What does unattended in a stroller mean? I don't know what else could you do? Lay on top of the baby?
She
the
walked
baby's
away.
in a stroller.
She walked away to pass out, to distribute
What? She walked away.
that
So
paper.
the baby's in the church in the stroller,
Right.
and she walks 10 feet away to pass.
No, it wasn't 10 feet
the stuff
away.
that you don't want her passing.
No.
And you called DCF on that.
No.
And DCF did what?
They came to my home. They made me drug tests. They're making me do parenting classes. They had to check my baby thoroughly for bruises. I don't do drugs or alcohol. I don't do anything. So to be humiliated and have have to pee in front of a cup in front of a stranger was defaming me and my character, because I am a child of God. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do anything. So for me to have to go through that humiliation and prove to someone that I'm a good parent.
Did you tell them the baby was in a stroller? I don't know.
I didn't get a chance to. They came out and they were like, you don't need, they were like, we have to disprove this.
Do you have the actual allegation, or no, they keep that private?
They don't tell us the actual allegation. They just send me this. I don't know if you have this already.
All right, you have a counterclaim against them, against both of them, right?
Right.
Okay, for defamation and pain and suffering. Let's talk about your counterclaim against them. I think I've heard enough about their claim against you. Let me hear your claim against them.
Well, as a result of her actions and how she did this.
This being the church?
The church. The communication has been cut. What was planned has been cut.
Communication has been cut between you and whom?
Bishop.
Okay, because he wants no part of either of you. Right.
Well,
do you think maybe he cut it because he saw the post you wrote and he thought maybe you're not good for his people?
No.
No? Because I think that. I mean,
no,
I think it
because he's, if you read, I've already submitted to you how I function and what I do in ministry.
I have seen enough to know how you function. How you function is 99% good and 1% pure evil.
Okay.
And that's how we all function, but in a million years I would never write such a thing about a dead child of another human. I would just never do that. I would never hurt somebody like that. I don't know how anybody who thinks that she is trying to do good in this world can do anything but fully repent on the same platform that you wrote it. And this whole apology thing you're talking about happened before you wrote it, so I don't get it. You know, when you write something like that and then you tape something like this, what that tape should have done is made you drop your phone, get on your knees, and ask for forgiveness from both God and her.
Your Honor, I stopped talking
I don't want you to start. That's the part you don't get. I don't want, there's a consequence to our actions on the earth. That was the consequence. Your horrible conduct in a place of worship was appalling. You should not have walked in there. You should not have started screaming. You should not have made the comment you made about, someone's sexual identification up on stage. I didn't miss that. I was listening to that. You did horrible things that day. They were bad, but you know what? They were done out of the incredible anger that you blame her for her kid's death. What is your excuse? On your counterclaim against them, 0. And on their claim against you for the damage that you caused, as to Precious for filing what can only have been seen as a retaliatory complaint to the Department of Children and Family Services. Because what? Because she left her baby? If you had actually told them that she had left her baby in a stroller, they would never have followed through on that. And as to Mello, for writing what you wrote about her deceased child, I find $2,000 for Precious and $2,000 for Mello. Our actions have consequences. When you write, it's your fault your baby's dead. That has a consequence. And when you, without any knowledge about whether it's true or not, and when you call DCF because you're angry that this happened and that it cut you off from being able to work for that church, that has a consequence too. Okay? But nothing I do here can compare to Judgment Day. That's my verdict.
Well, in this rather riveting lawsuit, the plaintiffs prevail. Ms. Jones, your comments really, in effect, cost you $4,000. If you'll stand over there, sir, please. The judge blasted you for what you said.
Right. I mean, I understand, people don't understand how things function, how things flow, but you cannot say things to people and think it's not going to come back. So unfortunately, my clap back was much more harder than her clap back, and she can't handle it. She liked to throw rocks and hide her hands, but see, I show mine, and she felt that power.
You're preaching here. Okay. On your way out.
She felt that power.
Goodbye.
The Lord's still on my side.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Wow.
So,
are you embarrassed this came out in court today?
I'm not embarrassed, I'll be honest with you. It takes a lot for me to come out the way I did, but when you attacked an innocent child who lived his life to try to help others, I think it was very low of her to post anything like that on Facebook. It showed her character.
Well, the judge agreed. No
yeah.
question
So
about
justice was served today. So.
And how about you? You know, you feel it?
I'm just glad that this is over and done with. I don't have any more communication with her, so
I was going to
there's
say
no love lost.
No communication.
No love lost. It's over and done. I'm just glad that resolution has come full circle.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Very good. Well, Harvey, what do you think about this case?
Okay, Doug, real quick, the judgment is not so much for defamation as it is infliction of emotional distress. That's a legal theory. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
This is the plaintiff, Kathy Mazurek. She says she arrived home one day to find a huge hole in the cement in front of her house. An eyewitness told her a big bus drove up over the curb and then parked on the cement, which caused the damage. She has concrete proof. The defendant said she would come out and investigate the damage. Never did. And here they are. She's suing for the $540 she's owed to fix her damaged cement. This is the defendant, Karen Holsworth, owner of K&H Bus Service. She says she did indeed investigate the plaintiff's bogus claim, and there's no way one of her buses did the damage because it's on a spot where none of her buses could even get to. This woman's trying to place the blame on one of her drivers when he did nothing wrong, and there's no way she's going to pay for damage that wasn't caused by her bus. She's accused of causing a crater.
All parties, please use your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says the defendant's bus drove over a curb and left a huge hole in the cement. But the defendant says no way did her bus do the damage. It's the case of busted.
Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome,
Kathy
ma'am.
Mazurek.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are suing Karen Holsworth and K&H Bus Service. You're the owner?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, for $540, the cost of pavement repair, because according to you, one of her drivers was negligent. Tell me what happened.
Okay. 11/10 of last year, when I was coming home from work, I said, oh my God, my neighbor's really going to be ticked. Somebody broke his payment, and here it was mine. And I was ticked. And I went into the corner store to find out if they knew what had happened, because they had the cameras.
Right.
And the gentleman that was the proprietor at the time said, yes, the school bus pulled up on your payment.
Oh, so he had actually seen it?
He witnessed it.
Is he here today?
No.
No. All right, but you have the pictures from
Yes.
his... Okay, let's see the pictures. So you find out who the company is from these pictures?
Well, from the actual video, my niece and her daughter and I went in to view the cameras, and you could see K&H School Bus Service or whatever it was on the side.
Yes, you can. Oh, you're not going to be happy. Did you speak to the driver?
I did, Your Honor.
And what did your driver say?
He said, I parked on the curb. He says, I didn't go no farther than the curb.
So, is it possible, or do you believe that the bus parked in the curb but didn't jump the curb?
No, absolutely not. I think it had to have jumped the curb.
What do you say?
I don't think there's any way that he could have just parked on the curb after, like, not doing it on purpose, basically.
Right. Going inside the courtroom.
What does the curb mean?
Oh, well, in Philadelphia, when we have our houses, the pavements are actually what they call cement slabs.
Yeah.
Okay, and the curb would be just a long piece of curbing, which would not be cement, it would be other than cement.
So is it part of the street?
Yeah, it divides the street from the actual
And what is the curb made of?
Could be slate. I think most of them are slate. I don't believe it's cement.
Okay. Would you like to see what the bus driver did?
Yes, I would love to. Yeah.
Okay. Why didn't you just send her this picture?
Well, I did speak with Ms. Holsworth.
No, I don't. This is different from sending the picture. A picture is worth I can't wait to see the look on her face when I show her the picture. Why would you not have sent her the picture? When did you get the picture?
I don't remember when I actually
When
took
did
it.
you get it? You helping her?
I was with her at the corner store, but it was a few days after when they were able to get the pictures off of the video surveillance.
Okay, so a few days
I've had
after,
it
did
for a while.
anybody send the pictures to her?
No, that would have saved everything.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm going to see. We're going to see if that would have saved everything. Take that picture to that nice lady right there. Pretty bad, right?
Actually, what she said was up here was broken where it is caved in.
Except for that's not accurate. I'm
Yeah.
going to show. Come on over here, sweetheart, and give this to her. I'm
Oh, you
sorry.
wanna have her come up?
No, I was
Okay.
calling you
Hold on,
sweetheart.
I
I'm
think you're
sorry.
talking to me.
You're not used to me calling you sweetheart. I can't stand it. I cannot stand it. I can't. Come take a look at that. Right?
No.
That's pretty bad.
He didn't do that. I'm sorry.
He didn't do that. I got a picture of him doing it.
No, he said he was parked right here on the
No,
curb.
he didn't say that, you mean.
Okay.
Is that what you, well, maybe not. What are you saying? I don't want to put words in.
What he said was he parked on the curb.
I know. He said to you something different. Now we are
Obviously.
showing you a
I'm
picture.
seeing that. That's crazy.
Right. And also, I'm showing you what he did because that's the result of parking that enormous bus on that lady's sidewalk. You see that, right?
Yes.
That looks bad, right? Right. So when you said he didn't do that, you meant he didn't say that.
Obviously, someone's wrong.
And I can't.
And I'm only going by what the driver told me, Your Honor.
I know.
I did not
I just
see
don't
it.
understand why they didn't
Yes.
send you the pictures because I'd like to imagine that before it would get to this stage, you would have seen the pictures and throttled him.
And I would have talked to. He no longer works for me now, but yeah,
Well,
I
that's
would have.
good because he's a walking liability.
Yes, but I know that myself. I went over there, and I didn't see that hole at the curb. Honestly.
Where did you see the hole? Maybe you went to the wrong place.
No, she's right off the corner.
Well, what do you think she did? You think she went out there with a jackhammer and made that hole? There's a tire inside of it.
Your Honor, I don't know.
Well, why would she do that? I mean,
I don't know,
It's
Your
not.
Honor.
First of all, she took the. It's not like she's trying to take advantage of this and replace every square in front of her house and make it pretty.
Yes.
The lady couldn't have been more reasonable. She just got the one and a half of the squares replaced. How many squares did you get replaced?
1.5.
Yeah.
And I had 3 estimates.
Yeah,
this
and
was
she
the
got
cheapest.
3 estimates.
I just want to say something, Your Honor, please. In the demand letter I mailed to Ms. Holsworth on April 30th, I have a copy, and she signed for it, receipt requested. It does stay there about us getting together. I'll have the pictures, and I can show you the proof. I can show you the letter.
Then what happened? You never heard from her?
No.
Oh, well, there is none so blind as she who will not see. Is it in the letter? You have the letter? You're looking
Yes.
at it?
Yeah, I'm actually.
Does it say I have pictures?
Yeah, I see that now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it was a pleasure to meet all of you. It really was. You couldn't have your ducks more in a row. Who are these nice ladies?
I'm her niece.
And goddaughter.
And that is my daughter.
Okay.
We came as soon as my aunt got home. She called me. I thought that something had happened to her because she was really upset. And then I grabbed my daughter and went over and...
Thinking that she's a damsel in distress.
Right, thinking
Let me tell you
something
something. She's
happened.
tough as nails. She didn't even need your help. All right, folks. My verdict in this case is for the plaintiff for the amount of the repair and, of course, her court costs. Good luck.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Okay, real quick, it shows how hugely important bringing photos and taking photos are as evidence in court. It is everything. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Dawn Harper. She says she rented an apartment from the slumlord defendant, who didn't tell her the house was in foreclosure. And when the new owners came in, they told her they were going to kick her out. The unscrupulous defendant hasn't returned her security. She's not going to let this guy get away with stealing her money and is suing him today in this court for the $1,600 she's owed. This is the defendant, DeMarco. He says he sold the place the plaintiff lived in and let her live out the last month of rent with her security deposit, which she did. How she thinks she's still owed this money is comical. He thinks so, and soon the judge will think the same. He's accused of trying to rip off a tenant.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says her landlord secretly sold the house she was renting, and the new landlord won't give her security back. But the defendant says they're even. It's the case of insecurity deposit.
Thank you. Dawn Harper, you are suing your former landlord, DeMarco, for $1,600 in a security deposit that he refuses to return. What's going on?
Well, he says that I lived out my security, and I didn't.
Well, let's back up. You rented a place from him for how long?
2 years.
And you lived where?
Upstairs on the second floor.
And he lived?
Underneath the first floor.
Okay. And then when is the first time you realized that something has gone terribly wrong?
Well, I was notified in the mail for new owners of the property. Okay. And they told me that I needed to contact them for any further information.
Okay. So what had happened?
I had sold the property.
You sold it or you got foreclosed on?
I sold the property.
Okay. Short sale?
I sold the property.
I asked you a question. Don't get defensive. Short sale?
Yes.
Did you ever let her know that it was in? Okay, so if it was a short sale, you were already in foreclosure proceedings with the bank, I guess, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Did you ever let her know about that?
Yes.
Did he ever let you know about that?
No.
All right. Did you have a lease?
Yes.
So you, when did you do the short sale?
June 20th.
Okay.
2018.
So she says you owe her, you're no longer living there, right?
No.
Okay. So she wants her security deposit back. What's your defense?
On May 1st, I explained to her that she no longer has to pay rent. I'm going to sell the property in June, and when that happens, you can start packing your things, trying to find a place to move.
So you didn't, so did she pay June rent?
She only paid for May.
Okay, so you're saying you didn't accept June rent?
No.
Okay, so you told her she didn't have to pay June rent?
She doesn't have to pay June rent. She has to find a place.
And according to you, you paid June rent?
I paid up until the day I left. Actually, when I got the notice in July, I paid him July, and they asked me, did I pay the rent? I said, yeah, I paid.
So you paid him June and July?
I paid him June, July.
Are they coming after, are the new owners coming after you for July rent?
No.
So, go ahead.
He didn't tell me. I didn't know that there was a new owner until after.
So he took your June rent?
Yes,
he took
June,
your July
he took
rent.
June
He
and
never
July
told
rent.
you, don't pay me rent?
He never told me anything about any sale or that he sold his property or
What
anything.
did the property manager say to you? Are they going to go after him for the July rent?
Yeah. They went after him for it.
What does went after him
They
mean?
asked him for the rent. I don't
Did
know
they
what
ask you
further
for the July
information.
rent?
No, sir. No, ma'am.
So why would you take, is your position that you didn't take July rent from her?
I did not.
So when a landlord sells a building, is he still responsible for the security deposit for the tenant that he took the security from?
Definitely. I mean, if the place was in good enough condition to sell it, that's my security deposit. I depended on it back.
Yeah, but what if, I don't own the building anymore. I give all the money to the other guy. Think about it. Going inside the courtroom.
And how do you pay your rent, in cash or some other way?
A money order.
Oh, so you have the proof in the money order?
Yeah, I have proof of my security money order too as well.
But if you pay your rent in money order, you would have proof of the money order to be able to show the new owners, right?
Yes, I did.
Fabulous, do it. All right, so why aren't you paying her back her security deposit?
As I said before, on May 1st, I agreed with her to not pay June or any rent as of June 20th, that she could find
On May
herself.
1st, you hadn't sold the place yet.
No, but
So how would you know to say June 20th?
I told her in advance that I'm going to sell the property in
Yeah, but
June.
you didn't know you were going to sell it June 20th on May 1st.
We didn't get the date yet.
Right. So how could you possibly say that to her on May 1st? I'll be selling this place on June 20th. I have a crystal ball.
I will be telling her. I told her that I will be selling the property sometime soon in June. I
So
didn't know
whatever
the
you do,
exact
don't
date.
give me any cash. How much your rent?
He's lying.
I know that. How much is your rent? How much is your rent?
$16.11.
Yeah. So whatever you do, don't give me me who is losing the place because I can't make the payments. It's not like I need cash or anything. Whatever you do, don't give me over $3,000. Right. I don't know. What I know about human nature tells me that's highly unlikely. In fact, you're still there, right?
No, I'm actually moving out.
He's still there? So he's still there. And so are they having to evict you?
No, not at all.
Did you get a 3-day notice?
I had an agreement with the owner.
Did you get a 3-day notice?
No.
You are I need to put you in a cage from how cagey you are. Stop being a wise guy and pay the lady her money, okay? You got her $1,600. You collected her rent, not once, but twice when you had no right to. Well, actually, he might have had a right to June. I don't know. But you collected in July. You know, every answer you give me is a cagey little, like you can't answer directly because you have no defense. Was this like this when you lived on?
Yes, it was horrible. He was very frustrating. I
mean, during the 2 years that you lived there, it was like?
Actually, I kind of kept my distance. You know, he was very sarcastic, but I paid him no attention.
$1,600, verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you.
So the plaintiff gets her money back, Mr. DeMarco. The judge didn't believe you much. You know that?
Yeah, I understand.
Cagey, she called it.
That's okay.
What do you think about this?
I'm disappointed.
You are?
Yeah.
Why?
It just didn't go my way.
You had no defense. And you're not talking. Okay, thank you very much. Right. On your way. Bye-bye. You're shaking your head, Ms. Harper.
Because he's horrible. He's a horrible person. He's a thief. Yeah. And he's a slumlord. He's disgusting. To sit in front of a judge and tell those lies.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm glad that I won.
I'm glad you are, too. Good for you. Congratulations. Okay, bye-bye. Harvey?
Doug, the defendant really ruined his case at the very beginning when he was stonewalling it on whether the building was in foreclosure.